Act 2 opens after supper and before the big celebration party. Leonato is talking to his daughter Hero, his niece Beatrice, and his brother Antonio. Hero mentions how grumpy Don John is, which launches Beatrice into discussing her perfect man. Beatrice's perfect man is neither the gloomy Don John nor Benedick, who is an annoying chatterbox. In fact, Beatrice doesn't want to marry at all. Leonato, who believes that Don Pedro will ask for Hero's hand in marriage, tells her to say yes. Little does Leonato know that Claudio is the one who loves Hero. Don Pedro is planning to help Claudio by pretending to be him when he tells Hero that he loves her. Suddenly, it's party time. Everyone comes in and they're all wearing fancy masks, except for Don John and Beatrice. Don Pedro starts wooing Hero, while Benedick and Beatrice start insulting each other, each pretending that they don't know who the other one is. Meanwhile, Don John starts to put his scheme into action. Remember, he wants to ruin Claudio's plan to marry Hero. So he starts chatting to Claudio, pretending that he thinks Claudio is actually Benedick. John tells Claudio that Prince Pedro is going to propose to Hero to keep her for himself. Claudio, who is in love with Hero, believes every word and is devastated. After Don John leaves, Benedick comes up to Claudio and teases him, saying that he saw Don Pedro wooing Hero. Understandably, Claudio is pretty upset. He thinks that Don Pedro has betrayed him and that he has lost Hero forever. As the party goes on, Don Pedro finally has a chance to tell Claudio his side of the story. He tells Claudio that all is well because Hero wants to marry Claudio, and Hero's father Leonato has approved of the marriage. Overjoyed, Claudio bounces back into life. Don Pedro decides to do some more matchmaking and decides to try and make Beatrice and Benedick fall in love with each other. Leonato, Claudio, and Hero all agree to help him out. Meanwhile, Don John's pretty grumpy that his plan to ruin Claudio's relationship with Hero has failed. Beatrice comes up with a devious plan, saying that he can trick Claudio into thinking Hero has cheated on him so that Claudio will dump her. Don John thinks it is a great plan. Elsewhere, the plot to get Benedick to fall in love with Beatrice is underway. Leonato, Claudio, and Don Pedro organise for Benedick to overhear their conversation. They talk about how Beatrice is in love with Benedick, but won't risk being rejected. Benedick, eavesdropping, doesn't realise that the whole conversation is staged for his benefit. He's surprised, but believes them. Wham! Benedick is instantly in love with Beatrice. Just then, Beatrice arrives, telling Benedick that it's time for dinner. She couldn't care less about him, but he interprets everything she says as having a double meaning. The man who swore that he would never fall in love, especially with Beatrice, has fallen for her hook, line, and sinker. We hope you enjoyed this Schooling Online production. For more easy lessons on Much Ado About Nothing, check out our summary of Act 3.